Hello everyone. This is a newer and smaller series where I cover fan theories based on films and TV shows. This will see me talking about what the theory is about, weighing up evidence to support or debunk it, and whether or not I believe the theory to be credible. As I am working on a lot of ideas for bigger videos, these videos will be made to allow me to get out more content in between. So, let's start with a popular and very interesting theory. This theory surrounds Jessie's owner Emily in Toy Story 2, stating that she is Andy's mum. The theory has some believability, claiming that when Emily grew up, she gave Jessie to charity, but held onto the hat, and later gave it to Andy. It would explain why Andy's hat is the same colour as Jessie's and not Woody's. The red lining is stated to be the worn-out former white lining, due to the hat being old by the time Emily gave it to her son. In addition, Emily's last name, much like Andy's mum's first name, are never revealed. She may well be Emily Davis. Some people have asked the question as to why Andy's mum wouldn't recognise Jessie when she saw her, but I think that can be overlooked as her just assuming it's another doll of Jessie. The bigger question for me though, would be, why doesn't she question Jessie and Bullseye's presents, considering that she didn't buy them for Andy? Unfortunately, however, I have found a hole in this theory. While Emily's childhood hat is round like Jessie's, Andy's childhood hat is teardrop shaped. I'm going to have to say no on this one, but it is still an interesting theory. Welcome back to Credible or Not. In this video, we'll be covering a rather dark theory surrounding Willy Wonka, specifically in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The theory surrounds Wonka being a serial killer, suggesting that he snapped years ago, and invites the children to his factory, intent on luring them into his various contraptions, and that with Charlie being the winner, Wonka will train him to kill more kids in the future. So, let's look at the evidence to back this theory up. Wonka's casual response to the kids falling into his contraptions is hard to ignore, from casually telling Augustus's mother where the pipe goes to calling Veruca a bad egg after she falls down the chute. Wonka is certainly one to show some, admittedly, rather humorous nonchalance about it. The Oompa Loompas are always ready with a death song, showing no concern for the kids' safety, and simply singing about how they would go far if they had proper discipline. Which is true, but probably not the thing you should be focusing on at that very moment. Lessons on parenting can come later, Oompa Loompas, the kids are in danger. A further example of Wonka's unnerving side is the very existence of the scary tunnel. The guests should have done like their How It Should Have Ended counterparts and left right there. Speaking of the scary tunnel, why does the Wonkatania only have enough seats for Wonka and all the remaining guests? And the same for the Wonkamobile. Some chocolate for thought. That, and unlike Tim Burton's version, we don't see the kids leaving the factory. Wonka telling Charlie they'd be fine may well be a cover-up. The theory goes as far as to state that Wonka uses the kids' body parts as a secret ingredient in his sweets. It would definitely explain where Sultan and Freebird got the idea for that fucked up parody of Wonka. Oh, sorry, I meant Willy. Is there anything to debunk this theory? Honestly, no. Everything makes complete sense about it.
You terrible man!
I'd certainly be cautious about going to this factory if it existed in real life. I'd probably rather go to the crack den that was Willy's chocolate experience. Oompa loompa doompa dee dun. I'm going to have to say yes to this one. I'd probably rather go... Welcome back to Credible or Not. In this video, we'll be looking at a theory surrounding the relationship between Jack and Rose in Titanic. The theory states that Jack is actually an imaginary love interest for Rose, with her being so distraught about the thought of marrying Cal, she dreamed Jack up to envision an ideal husband. If Rose was the only person who interacted with Jack, this theory could be credible, but we see many people interact with Jack, and several scenes where he appears without Rose. And if Jack never existed, then who is behind that drawing? It's pretty safe to say no on this one.